Good afternoon. Today we are with a famous man that can tell us about a book that he acquired in a bookstore and gave him an idea about what to do on the next trip. Tell me, one, how is it starts, how the book works, and what it explains for us. This is your travel log, and I see that you are going to talk us about Martin Luther King Day, Labor Day, Native American powwow, Black History Month, and Hispanic heritage.
That's right, and I want to start with Martin Luther King Day. As you may know, these days in the United States, the grief and hate about the inequalities and abuse of police forces reminds me back in the 1960s when Martin was still alive.
This day is celebrated in January, isn't it?
That's right. After the assassination of Martin Luther King on April 4, 1968, while supporting a workers' strike. It was until 1986 that the president in charge assigned the celebration on the third Monday of January.
It seems to me that they are abusing the limits and damaging the country. In that sense, what is the real purpose or vision of these political movements?
The real sense of the demonstrations is what Dr. MLK and his supporters did. It was until an argument with Rosa Parks and a white person about a seat in a bus that the acknowledgement of the problem of injustice and racism became public. That was a nonsense action. It violated the Rosa Parks' rights. Even she got arrested for it. That set up the movement led by Dr. King. You see, there were worse times and people were upset, but Dr. King was a non-violent protest behold.
So, in that sense, is there a crucial moment where the movement takes leadership and obtains recognition?
It was the I Have a Dream speech at the Capitol building when more than 250,000 people flooded the place with non-violent response. With the civil rights movement in the 1965, Afro communities gained a voice in the country. They acquired opportunities and rights.
Wow, that was so much impact on the life of Afro communities, I think. That was the seed of so many organizations against racism, right?
Yes, for instance, the Black Month is one of these celebrations. Some say that it is not necessary because one doesn't need to schedule a month to celebrate the life of humans, the life of a country.
Well, so it is supported by a large amount of people. What does it mean for them?
Yes, it is for most of the young people who feel that their identity is being depreciated. Maybe what Dr. King did was a proof of the value and bravery of the Afro communities.
Well, can you tell me more about it?
This celebration was a reminder of what Dr. King and Rosa Parks did. The celebration itself was created in 1926 by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. It was just a week, but in 1976 was expanded the whole February, including the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass.
What beautiful memories the book brought. It's clear that the monk have most of the people's support. Indigenous people, is there something important to recognize today?
Well, compared with other festivities and celebrations, this gathering is just a way that the Native Americans used to celebrate their traditions and beliefs. In some other sense, it is meant to provide everyone their knowledge and share the history and of the country and their heritage.
So, if I want to go there and have fun, what should I consider?
First, this gathering is composed by many activities and stages. You can find recreation stages, dancing and singing stages, and spiritual stages. It could be very important rituals and ceremonies. In this gathering, the most important thing is the dancing and drumming. For instance, the dance arbor is set up as an event, but it has deep meaning.
Wow, what an interesting gathering. Where did it come from? What does powwow mean?
The word powwow comes from an Algonquin Indian word, powwow or powwow, which referred to tribal spiritual leaders and their religious and healing ceremonies. Because they didn't understand Indian culture or ceremonies, they thought a powwow, their mispronunciation of the Indian word, was any tribal gathering or event.
That's amazing. I think it was an opportunity for the Native Americans. They could find a way to transmit and share their culture even if it was borrowed. Well, that has been a long way to the American festivities and celebrations. Can you tell us about another thing or celebration that you have found out?
Yes, this is the Labor Day. It's celebrated September 1st. I remember the story of that man, Peter McGuire. Since he's 11 years old, working in the streets of New York, Peter had to help supporting his mother and 6 brothers and sisters because his father went to the Civil War. When he was 17, he decided to organize a labor movement. The last holiday that I enjoyed the most reading it was the Hispanic Heritage Month.
I don't know anything about that day. Can you tell us about it?
It's a full month celebration. It starts the 15th of September and ends the 15th of October. This month celebrates the traditions and cultures of all Americans who traced their roots to Spain, Mexico, and the Spanish-speaking nations of Central America, South America, and the Caribbean.
It sounds so good. I think that you ate a lot these days, doesn't it?
Obviously, I did food of all American cultures and some from the European ones, and I saw the programs with speeches, food, dance, and music.
Thanks, Juan Esteban. And today we have a second participant. He bought this book and lived wonderful things. Robert, tell us his experience.
Hello, my name is Robert Rodriguez, and yes, I bought this book in an online store. And the truth, I like it very much. The book, I like it so much that I decided to visit some special days in United States.
Robert, for how long time did you stay and how did you get organized?
Okay, the first time I was all month of February and I was with my best friend. We saved money for 6 months and we start our adventure in the United States.
And how you perform in all this month?
To start, we had traveled in 10 days, knowing some tourist place, and we arrived at the birthday of the President Abraham Lincoln, then my birthday. On Abraham's Day, I found out many things. For example, the first thing is the birthday of Abraham Lincoln is in the same time of the city, the Washington City. For this is important to know that this president have an important and real role in the American history. For this important that to know that he born in 1809 in an agricultural family, that he studied to be a lawyer and ended up making peace between the North and the South and erasing the slavery. And with my friend, we were surprised to see that the school had no class and different repairs that in the city in the historical structure. Also surprised us is the decorated street and different artistic manifestation. And one day after, I celebrate my birthday near the monument of Abraham Lincoln, and then I had a very useful night traveling to another city.
It is so interesting. After this, did you live some other experience?
Sure, after my birthday, I had a sad and lonely day because my friend tried to have a blind date. I went to walk and saw the Virginia city, beautiful city. I found the street full decoration, hearts, and colored ribbons. Before returning me to the hotel room, I found a street show where a child said a beautiful and romantic poem that I loved. I think that I remember. The roses are red, the violets are blue, the sugar is sweet, and so are you. The beautiful poem.
This is a beautiful poem, Robert. Can you tell us something interesting for the last minutes?
Yes, the last thing that I did, I went to March on Washington's birthday, the 22 of February in the night. I felt so sad. I walked for a lot of time.
Thanks a lot for your time and your travel experience, Robert. See you on your next trip.
Okay, thank you. I'm really fan of your show. I'm the fan number one. Thank you. Bye.
Finally, I want to invite you to read that book, Celebrate Holidays in the USA, and program your travel to there to enjoy the different holidays and their celebrations. Thanks to all of you. See you later.